Hey everyone, Coach Investor back to another video for today. So we have a lot to talk about when it comes to Intel. They have announced multiple investments in the last couple of days. Now with all those new investments, you would have thought that the stock would have gone up, but actually on Tuesday the stock went down over 3% or so. The main reason is because of a particular analyst talking about a potential spin-off of the foundry business. Now, that would be something huge. Of course, on Wednesday, Intel will have a conference and will talk about the future foundry services. Hopefully, we will get some answers from there. But in this video, I want to focus on the announcements and then we're going to touch on what a spin-off could mean. So first up, the graph. So what has happened? Well, in the last couple of weeks, actually, stock has run up quite nicely, just like the overall market. But yes, yesterday we were also a bit overbought. So yesterday cooling off on that release of that note. Hopefully we'll get some more constructive news during that conference. So first up, let's touch on this news. So Intel plans assembly and test facility in Poland. So the investment near, I don't know how to pronounce this, but by the way, this location and the Germany location are around 450-500 kilometers apart. It's going to be extremely crucial. So the investment will be up to $4.6 billion, will create approximately 2,000 Intel jobs and thousands of indirect supplier and temporary construction jobs. The new facility will help meet the demand for assembly and test capacity anticipated in coming years. Facilities will be constructed according to green building principles and will operate with high environmental standards to minimize carbon footprint and environmental impact. And then Intel's investment will help the European Union work towards its goal of a more resilient semiconductor supply chain. They want to retake around 20% of that. Now they say here this facility will help meet critical demand for assembly and test capacity that Intel anticipates by 2027. They expect to invest $4.6 billion in the facility, which will have the capacity to expand. And of course, when completed, the facility will support approximately 2,000 Intel employees. Now we got some comments here from Pat. So Poland is already home to Intel operations and is well positioned to work with Intel sites in Germany and Ireland. It is also very cost competitive with other manufacturing locations globally and offers a great talent base that we're excited to help grow. We're grateful for the support from Poland as we work to grow the local semiconductor ecosystem and contribute to the EU's goal of creating a more resilient, sustainable semiconductor supply chain. To which we get a comment here from the Prime Minister. We are pleased that the largest greenfield investment in the history of Poland is being led by Intel, a Silicon Valley legend known for its innovation. Chips and semiconductors are critical technologies in the 21st century, and we are excited to expand Poland's role in the global semiconductor supply chain and help to establish the country as an economic trendsetter. Now, this was the first step, then we've got some more news. So finally, after months and months of discussion, well, Intel and German government agree on increased scope for wafer fabrication site in Magdeburg. So this will include investment of more than 30 billion euros in Germany as a major expansion of Intel's manufacturing capacity in Europe. Silicon Junction is expected to enter production at a more advanced technology than originally planned and will be the first of its kind in Europe. Intel's investment creates the foundation for a next-generation European chip ecosystem, helping the European Union advance its goal of a more resilient, as we've just talked about that, and the same thing here with the green building principles and carbon footprint, etc., etc. And here as well, we've got some comments from Pat and then from the Chancellor of Germany as well. So building the Silicon Junction in Magdeburg is a critical part of our strategy for Intel's growth. Combined with last week's announcement of their investment in Poland and the Ireland sites we already operate at scale, this creates a capacity corridor from wafers to complete packaged products that is unrivaled and a major step towards a balanced and resilient supply chain for Europe. We're grateful to the German federal government, the Chancellor, and the government of Saxony-Anhalt for their partnership and shared commitment to fulfilling the vision of a vibrant, sustainable, leading-edge semiconductor industry in Germany and the EU. To which the Chancellor said, today's agreement is an important step for Germany as a high-tech production location and for our resilience. Intel semiconductor production in Magdeburg is the single largest foreign direct investment in German history. With this investment, we are catching up technologically with the world's best and expanding our own capacity for the ecosystem development and production of microchips. This is good news for Magdeburg, for Germany, and for all of Europe. And then the Vice Chancellor here says, today's agreement is a milestone for Germany as a location for innovation and investments for jobs, resilience, and competitiveness. Intel's investment will raise semiconductor production in Germany to a new level and is an important contribution to growing European sovereignty. And remember, Germany is starting to attract more and more of those big companies. One of those was obviously Tesla. They also got a congratulations from the president and CEO of Siemens. Congratulations to Intel on further expansion here in Germany. Siemens is proud to collaborate with Intel to accelerate the semiconductor ecosystem in Europe. We are a key technology partner for this industry, supporting manufacturers to scale and build more resilient supply chain. We also got some news that Intel will expand further in Israel, invest another, I think, $15 billion there in the facility in southern Israel, where they already invested $10 billion. And remember, they're still to complete the acquisition of Tower Semiconductor, and last year they also acquired the smaller company for around $600 million called Granulate. Now, if you're enjoying this type of videos so far, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, would really appreciate that. And if you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to get the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. So with all that good news, let's say with all those investments which we knew were going to happen, we now have to think about a potential scenario where, yes, Intel might maybe spin off the foundry business. And so we have to go and look at this report here. So Intel stock drops as foundry capacity build-out plans have one analyst predicting a company split. So UBS analyst said he expects Intel to provide an update on its product roadmap and customer adoption of its foundry services business, or IFS, on Wednesday. I'll update you in the days to come. And this comes, of course, after the reports of growing in Germany, Poland, and Israel. So we have long argued that if Intel is truly going to pursue an external foundry model, which at this point would be hard to backpedal from given its pending acceptance of significant amounts of CHIPS Act money, it needs to cleave the manufacturing assets from the product businesses. Essentially, we argue Intel likely splits into a foundry business and a fabless product business, and the segment P&L is a big first step. Such a separation is necessary because there is not a single potentially significant customer that tells us they would make a big commitment to Intel Foundry as long as it would be competing with Intel for the best wafers, highest yielding lots, etc. Now, of course, this makes a little bit of sense because what if, well, we know there are some talks with NVIDIA going on already right now, but in the future, NVIDIA, AMD, Apple could become potential foundry customers. Now, what's to say that Intel won't prioritize their own business over the others, right? So there is a conflict of interest here. We also know that Intel might potentially participate in the ARM IPO. So to offer ARM technology, not just Intel's technology, might be one way to say, look, we're open to do business with everyone there. Remains to be seen, but this is something to keep an eye on very, very closely. And of course, if they do split the business or spin off the business, how would that, well, affect current Intel shareholders? Will we get a dividend? We will still own part of the company? What's going on there? Again, this is right now just speculation, remains to be seen. Maybe we'll get more information on Wednesday. I'll keep you all posted, but do share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.